record on this. Hello, this is Dave, and welcome to Equities Story. I'm with the wonderful Wolf, and like I said, he's been working hard going through the stories this morning and see if there's any sort of stories that maybe we should be looking at, or possibly we should be selling if we've owned them, which is maybe even more important, Wolf, than sometimes buying. And this is just general share advice and not personal. So go on, Wolfie, far away. What's going on with the Wolf?
All right, let's start with some stocks, shall we?
Yeah, let's go.
We've got from yesterday, so we've got plenty of announcements to go through, so let's fly through them. MGH, which has got a lot of support, but unfortunately hasn't been going too well. So at the moment, it is a struggle street, and I'm probably going lower on another downgrade, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, it's been on a downgrade since May this year, hasn't it? Really, but it's somewhere near these lows. So I wonder if it will hold those bottoms. But again, we're not going to pick bottoms because what do we get, Wolfie? We get dirty fingers, don't we?
Yeah, but the worst thing is, you don't want to buy things on downgrades because it just leads to more further falls. So if there was no downgrades, just reiterating guidance, I'd be much more, at least I'd be more interested because it's trading on 10 times, which is cheap, right? And you've got a 4.5% yield. So you'd go, yeah, okay, I'm interested. But on a downgrade, there's always a chance of another downgrade and another downgrade. So I'm not touching this for the moment, which I'm going to go to the bottom, which is opposite here. And I'm looking at DGL. Remember the old DGL? So put this one in, which is really a frustrating stock for us because we had it. We got out on that August report, which unfortunately they really screwed it up, right? Where they've come up with a good result, but didn't give much of a guidance. They said they were going to talk about it at AGM. It lost a bit of credibility from the, from the CEO and so on. Lo and behold, and everyone thinks, oh, there's probably going to be no growth then. All downgrades across the site, everyone. Lo and behold, they come up with AGM. Yeah. Yeah,
but we did say that. We did say it's overplayed, and the way they wrote that announcement, there could easily still be a bit of growth.
Yeah, but there was nothing. It was just basically the brokers went to town on this. What do we do? I mean, we're stuck in a really spiral of death. How do we stop this? I mean, it's trading on. Let me just have a look. But you know what? Today's announcement, you think to yourself, I think this is actually not that bad. This is actually doing alrighty. It's going to trading on 14 times with 10% growth by the looks of things. They gave guidance today, ADGM. So you know what I think? I think, Dave, if you put it on a daily, if it stacks up that 160, I think this is a ride back to what, $2.
Yeah, it could do. It could do sort of trade.
I know that's something not what we do, but you know what? If someone's holding this,
but if you're in it,
someone's not holding this. This is how you're going to recoup your money, get it back to $2. And I think this announcement has at least given that. Hang on a second. This is not a sell-off from $3 to $150. That was way overdone. Way overdone.
Right. Okay. That's at least that's some good news that people are still.
That's exactly right. And I think this is it should mean that by the next 3 months, by the time that next February comes around, back to $2. I hope. All right, 360. Let's go with that one. Okay, so good recovery. They had that price increases for the products. Unfortunately, today that quarterly wasn't great. Still huge loss making, right, on the books. The other problem is churn. When you see that actually quarterly today, Dave, obviously apart from the cash outflows, you've got lower numbers across the board on the quarterly basis. So for me, those price increases they might be happy with them internally, but I think you're not going to see much growth for the next probably 3 months. So I think it's just one to, if you're in this, you've ridden it maybe for $3 or $4 to $6, take the profits, or maybe use that 558, whatever, right? Whatever you want to do. But I'm a little bit worried about this with that huge loss making on these books.
I still think this is a highly risky play.
Yeah, I agree. I
think
the companies with losses on their books are really shunned by the market. So there's huge risk with this.
Well, they go broke eventually. What?
But you know what? I mean, 200 million over revenues, US dollars. I mean, that's a decent business. It's just the question is, can they make money on this? All right, let's move on to the next one, IPL.
Well, that's great price action, Wolfie.
A pretty, you know, a stellar performance, really. I mean, from one previous corresponding period, sorry, to today's, it's just a huge move. There's just no comparison. I mean, the question is, can they sustain this? So I think what you've got to look at is, are the conditions going to be the same for them in the next 6 months, what they've had before? And possibly the answer is possibly yes. So I think, you know, if you're on this trade, I think you probably stick to it for the moment.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I had that buy signal a few weeks ago. It's gone through beautifully. We're actually trending this. It hasn't given us any reason to sell it, and maybe now it's going to have that move up to the 450. I like this chart, Wolf. I think it's excellent.
Well, let's just have a quick look what the actual numbers say fundamentally on this. And I'm looking at 14 times, very, you know, I suppose, undemanding 14 times, and 6% dividend yield. I think this could actually be a nice little dividend yield play.
Yeah, no, it doesn't look too bad at all.
All right, let's go to the next one, AKE. So we just had a bit of a sell-off in the lithium space, right? I can't see anything untoward or anything scary or anything on those nature. I think it's, again, just the market being volatile. Unless, you know, someone can read something. I went through AFI and I couldn't see anything either. But, you know, profit taking, it's just been stellar run. We looked at the lithium price recently. That looked okay. I don't know. Maybe there's something coming out of China. I haven't seen yet, Dave. But I know that Mr. Xi Jinping is meeting with Albanese today. So that could be interesting. That could be a pivotal moment for us as well. So we could be watching that, what happens. If that opens up Australia again, hello A2M, hello some of these other TWEs of the world. All right, let's go to the next one.
Yeah, I don't know, Wolf. I'm trying to look here. I can't see anything. No, I mean, it's something out of America. I think what happened last time when lithium had a bit of a sell-off was one of the major banks coming out and saying lithium was over.
Exactly. I think maybe that's exactly what maybe happened. Some big broker come and saying lithium's way overpriced. It should be halved.
Maybe just wanted to buy some.
Yeah, possibly. All right. Anyway, look, it's good to have different views. I don't mind it at all. UMG. Let's have a look at that one. I know we're looking at this space, agriculture, because it is, you know, something that we're looking at. We'll talk about Elders in a second. But UMG, it actually, you know, the results were affected by the issues that we've had in Australia, the flooding and everything else. So while we've got a higher revenues, there are much higher costs involved for UMG. Hence, it wasn't a great result. But you know what? If things stabilize, these guys can still do very, very well, UMG. So for me, I wouldn't be touching it at the moment. But you know, I think what it just shows, the agri space is actually going well if things normalize a bit, because the costs are obviously killing them at the moment. Let's go to the next one.
So is that rubbish, that P ratio of 88?
Good question. Let me have a look. I haven't looked at it. I haven't looked at what the actually EPS on this was. I'd have to have a quick look at it, but I know their numbers went backwards on the bottom line. So possibly could be correct. Anyway, like I said, I wouldn't be touching this for the moment. Let's go to Elders, because of course I've just talked about one agri stock. So let's go to Elders as a follow-up. And I tell you what, way oversold this. I mean, that was just the most ridiculous thing I've probably seen for a long time, right? Because the result was excellent, and we talked about it yesterday. There was two other things that we thought that could affect it. There was the change of CEO and a bit of a sketchy outlook. And I think one of the brokers today confirmed that pretty much everything that's overshadowed was probably the CEO saying that he's going to be resigning within 12 months. Now, we know that, you know, that space is quite volatile. We know that possibly weather patterns could affect all these agri stocks. But, you know, these guys are picks and shovel types, more predominantly anyway, picks and shovel type company. So if there's going to be a flood, post-flood, all the farmers will probably have to replant. So they'll probably need all the seeds and everything else that goes with it, right? So for me, I still think this is a great opportunity. It looks really cheap. And even though, say if they've got a flat year, FY20, because there was a really strong year, right, they've had. Say it's a flat year, which I don't think it will be, but say it is. they are cheap as chips. I mean, they're trading on about what, 10 times, I think, even lower than that. I mean, it's crazy at these prices. So you've got a very good yield, right? And they've upped it yesterday as well. So they're trading on 9 times, 6% yield. I'm plonking this into my yield portfolio. Thank you very much, market. All right, let's move on. CBA. So we had a quick look at CBA. Again, you know, arguably, probably not even arguably, it is the best bank in Australia, right? So it just shows. But I think, you know, Dave, has it got legs to get over the 110? I don't think so. I think it's going to be range training again. If it does break that through the 110, I'm sure you'll be all over it as a trade. But for me, no, thank you.
Well, yeah, it's looking a little bit tight, Wolf. You know, that's sort of, it's having its run. I think it might retest that 110, but I think it's you know, it's not a trade.
No, I mean, hey, for a bank trading on 20 times earnings, it's a bit rich.
Yeah, I mean, you know, again, it's actually it's still our best performing bank, isn't it?
Absolutely.
If you compare
it's
it,
probably one of the most expensive banks even globally on 20 times earnings.
Yeah, no, we'll avoid that one. Thanks, Wolf.
All right. LIC, let's go to that one. And I love this story, I have to say, because it's, you know, either it's raining, hailing, sunshine, whatever, they just keep sticking to their guns and they keep delivering. It's just, it is good. I mean, if you look at the development pipeline they've got on today's presentation, man, oh man, you know, over the next 5 years, they've got little villages coming out left, right, and center, which is great. So I think there's going to be plenty of interest in this story, Dave. And like I said, if you're in this story, even though
also these are retiree villages, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right. Affordable retiree villages. That's the thing. Yeah.
And with our age group, our country getting older and older.
Yep.
We'll be in one both of those, me and you, Wolfie, won't we?
No, 100%. You just have to find a nice spot. And I like this one that they're doing in Phillip Island. That's a pretty good spot. Anyway, Dave, I thought
that was a prison colony, Phillip Island.
Oh, no, I don't think so. It probably definitely has got some history.
Maybe I'll send my mother-in-law there.
But it is. Look, I think if you got a long-term view, if you're still in this because you didn't sell out, or maybe you bought it last week because you probably, Dave, did you put it onto the Einsteins?
Yeah.
If you're in this, hold. Pretty simple. All right, let's move on.
And if you're not in it, it's maybe worth a buy.
Yeah, maybe, you know, but
listen,
I don't think the lights out. Yep.
You've had a good announcement, right? You've got a nice little stop loss at 17.90, and you can see if you can get $20 out of it.
Yeah, look, as a trade, yes. As a fundamental, I'd probably want to buy it closer to that 16. And the reason why it is on 21 times, 22 times. So I just, you know, as a fundamental analyst, I want to buy it, giving myself a bit more value. But for a trader, absolutely, because you can probably do that $20 within the next few weeks, right?
Yeah, if you look at it, it must probably go up to here, come back down here.
Exactly. All right, so fundamental, just hold off. If you got it, hold on. For a trader, you can still get in and probably get this $20. I agree.
RDY.
Okay, RDY. So they've had more talks with the private equity that they've had before, where they said 450. With the more talks, with the due diligence done, the acquirer, they've said that seems like they're happy with it 450. They'll still bid for the 450, but we still haven't seen the proper bid for it yet. So that's why there's a gap between 450 and $4. Once that's done on a piece of paper and it's signed off, then you'll probably see that closer to the 450. So at least it's a positive sign that they're still prepared for 450 when they looked at the books. That's good. It's getting closer to that 450.
Well, hold on a second, Wolf. Well, that's 20% up from here.
12% actually.
Well, okay, well, that's not bad.
That's not bad.
I mean, what's it down? I mean, say if a deal didn't happen, would this go back down to $3, or would the market say, "Oh, sorry, we got you wrong. You're most probably worth $3.50"? I mean,
that's a good question. It's a good question to ask.
Yeah.
I think it's probably answer like something in between, which is probably it won't come back to the $3. It'll probably come back to something like 350 in between.
Yeah, somewhere there. So if you look at it from risk reward, right? and I know this is a very, very difficult question, but that's why I like to ask you this, because this is why you're paid the big bucks.
Yeah.
When you read through that report, what's the chances, do you think, of this takeover going through?
Fairly high. But I
What?
think it's definitely more than 50-50 at
So
this stage.
so 75.
Yeah, something 70-30 probably for me at the moment.
So okay, for those people who like going to the casino, who want to see a better odds than 50-50 on red and black, this is not too bad.
It isn't too bad, but remember, do we play it like these things? No, we don't.
No, I'm just saying those. I'm just saying.
Yeah, well, those casino players, yes, possibly they
Yeah.
can possibly do that, but they also have to remember what is the downside here. So you say, let's say 12% is your upside, your downside is probably 20%, right? So I'm not sure if it's good enough for the thing, but like I said, because I think this is 70-30, then maybe there's a better chance of getting that 12% than the loss of 20%. So up to you guys what you want to do with that. It definitely, at least you've got an announcement today that you can sleep well if you're in this at the moment.
Wolfie, NTO.
Yep.
Still in a trading halt. What's happening with old NTO?
Well, they got a bid for $2. So remember we talked about they had a 180, but it's jumped way above that because people think there's going to be a bigger offer. Well,
they're not going to accept it, are they?
They have. They've accepted it. It's $2.
Well, yeah, you said they have, but I mean, Wolf, I'm trying to make it sound live. They're not going to accept it, will they?
Yeah, well, unfortunately they have, but is there another player in the background somewhere waiting, right, for making a bigger bid? Because this is a ridiculous, $2 is ridiculous, really.
But they've been fighting this bid, saying we're at least worth a lot more, 250. So why have they come back and said we'll take it?
I don't know, but they've taken it.
It's crazy.
But I think the market's saying something more happening. I think that's what the market's saying.
Well, it was, but it'd be interesting to see how it opens. GL1, little global lithium player. What's happening here?
Look, some results. I had to look through them. A mixture, some good, some not so good, some in between. But I think, again, the lithium space is struggling today. So it sort of gets drowned out. The results get drowned out today because there was nothing spectacular. So it's going back with the market.
Well, that note, Wolf, have we spoken about everything?
I think so. I think we've covered pretty much everything. The only other thing I want to talk about quickly through Athens Arena, because I did have a look at some stuff. So Elders is one that we talked about, but there's a couple of others. So I've got another one for Suncorp. Let's put that in. And Morgan Stanley says an equal weight. So they're sort of even with it. Target price is 11.30. So they're okay with it. So I'm happy with that. What else have I got here? I've got, hang on, I've had another couple here. So Elders we talked about, and ALQ from yesterday. Remember we talked about ALQ. We thought this could be a nice little, I think, trade. I think you had. Did you had a trade on ALQ?
Yeah. No, we just said, I did. I put it on Einstein's.
Yeah, that's right. So, I mean, I'm going to give you a bit more fuel to add to that fire. So you've got a price target of 13.60 from Macquarie, right? So there you go. So that's possible, that $13 could be easily in crosshairs. And the other one's Morgan's got a 14.40 price target. So, you've got a couple of brokers who are pretty bullish on that at the end of the day. And last one I've got, Dave, is Aristocrat. I want to put it this way because they are just reporting this week. So I'd say in the next couple of days, they're going to report, and it's a big one, right? And you've got a price target of $44.
Well, I hope it's a good one. This is
okay.
I put this one on the tally. When I was on the tally, I said this could go up. Actually, Wolfie, I'm not doing too bad. I think I put 7 stocks on when I was on the tally, and I think 4 of them are up 6% yesterday. So, but Aristocrat hasn't moved yet. I don't want to have any big losers, otherwise.
Oh, well, I hope they report bloody well tomorrow then, for your sake. Because remember, everyone remembers just the one bad call, not the other 9 good calls you've made.
No, but you know what's so good is that you're actually not on this. So I just put the blame bad ones on you. I've got, Wolfie got that one wrong.
You love that story. Oh, he just completely went. I love this.
I told Wolfie to stay away from charting, but he wouldn't listen to it.
All right, last thing before we go, I actually just saw something flash up on my screen. AGL, they just had the AGM. Mr. Cannon Brooks has won the board. So he's defeated the incumbents. He's going to get it. I think this is a trade now, Dave, to $9.
Really?
Yep.
Okay, because he's in charge.
Yep, he's in charge now. He's won the battle. I just saw the flash up on AFR.
Okay. Well, okay. Well, I'll tell you what. Whether you're right or wrong.
It's a trade, though. This is a trade. This is not fundamental at the moment because we don't know any. We don't know anything. This is just on the back of him winning it. So I'm sure he'll have big plans. He'll have some announcements coming through.
Well, you got a stop loss of 755.
Exactly. At least take it to 850. Let's say, right? 850.
Why? So your idea of doing the trade is that you think he'll come in and say, "Listen, guys, this is where we're going to take the future. This is," and the market's going to get all excited about it.
They'll get behind him. Absolutely. If he comes up with something spectacularly green or something that should have been done a long time ago, I think the investment fraternity will get behind him as long as there doesn't come something radical that will destroy AEG with it. So look, I'm happy to back the man because he's been very successful.
All right. On that note, so we'll just recap. Wolf. IPL looks like a buy.
Yep.
LIC I think looks like a buy.
Yep.
AGL. You think it's a buy?
Yep.
ALQ looks like a buy.
Yep.
And
Suncorp as a dividend play for short still.
They're definitely looking good.
Elders, Dave, and I think Elders is a dividend play.
And Elders is a dividend.
Yeah, let's change it from obviously a trading because we'll probably have to get out by the end of the week as a investment, but let's keep it as a change of tack and go dividend play 6.5%. Thank you very much.
So, well, definitely 6.5% and a P of 9 for a quality company like Elders. I do like that, but only dividend. It's not trending.
Yeah,
it's not trading.
Just the dividends. Yeah, that's why we got to change tack here. We're going outside the norm because this is going to be a dividend. So we're going to look at. I'd say let's look at the a range between 10 and 13.
All right. On that note, Wolfie, I'd like to thank you. You're always absolutely brilliant as normal. And stay on the line. I'm just about to call you back on another Zoom call because we're going to do something else. But thanks, Wolfie. Speak to you later.
Right. Cheers. Bye.
Bye, mate. Bye.